When you don't know how long is left, everything changes. Even if nothing on the outside looks different. The same people sit at the same Christmas table. The same lights hang from the same windows. The same songs play in the background. But inside you, a quiet countdown has started. Maybe a doctor said something that shook you. Maybe test results came back with words you don't fully understand but feel afraid of. Maybe someone you love looks more fragile this year. Maybe it's not illness at all. Maybe it's a relationship that feels like it is reaching the end of its strength. You look around and realize, I don't know how many more times we will have this. Psychologically, this is one of the most intense emotional states a person can live in. Uncertainty about time. The brain wants clear answers. It wants numbers, dates, guarantees. 2 years left. 6 months. This will heal by spring. We will be fine after this fight. But life rarely gives you that clarity. Instead, you get vague sentences. We'll see. We don't know yet. It depends how it goes. Let's take it one day at a time. Behind those sentences lives a heavy truth. You are walking through a chapter without knowing how many pages remain. Christmas magnifies that uncertainty. This season is built on repetition. Every year the same traditions appear again. Decorating, cooking, visiting, exchanging gifts, lighting candles. When you are young or when life feels stable, you assume these rituals will repeat forever. But once uncertainty about time enters your life, every ritual feels different. The simple act of placing a plate on the table becomes emotional. Will they be here next year? A smile from someone across the room hits you harder. How many more times will I see that face in this light, at this table, in this mood? When you don't know how long is left, 2 dangerous psychological extremes appear. The first is emotional paralysis. You become so overwhelmed by the unknown that you stop moving emotionally. You tell yourself, there's no point planning anything. There's no point hoping. There's no point connecting deeply if I'm going to lose them. You go through the motions of Christmas, but inside you feel numb. You might avoid looking at the person too long, avoid deep conversations, avoid anything that could make you feel more attached. You think you are protecting yourself from future pain, but you are actually stealing connection from the present. The second extreme is frantic pressure. You feel like every moment must be meaningful. Every conversation must be deep. Every second must be special. You try to force perfection onto the evening. The right music, the right speeches, the right photos, the right mood. You get frustrated if someone looks at their phone or makes a silly joke or doesn't seem fully emotionally engaged. Underneath that frustration is fear. Don't you understand this could be our last time like this? That fear turns into control, and control turns into conflict. Instead of enjoying the time you have, you suffocate it. Both extremes come from the same place: fear of loss plus lack of control. The human mind struggles with uncertainty more than almost anything else. If you knew exactly how long was left, your brain would start to adjust. It would grieve, plan, and organize. Uncertainty keeps you in a suspended state. You are never fully relaxed, never fully prepared, never fully at peace. You are always half ready for goodbye, and half pretending nothing is wrong. So what can you do when you don't know how long is left? First, you have to accept that not knowing is part of reality, not a mistake. Many people wait for certainty to start living honestly. When we know for sure, then we will talk. When the doctor gives us a clear answer, Then I'll open up. When I know this relationship is over, then I'll express myself. That delay is dangerous. It wastes the most valuable time you have, the time when things are still possible, when words can still be heard, when moments can still be created. Not knowing is not a barrier to love. It is the condition under which love has always existed. You have never truly known how long anything would last. You just forgot that truth until now. Second, turn your attention from how long to how fully. You cannot control how many Christmases remain. You can influence something else. How you show up in the one that is in front of you. The brain likes to ask, how much time? The heart asks a different question. What will I do with the time that I have? When you shift your focus from duration to depth, you reclaim a sense of agency. Depth does not mean grand gestures or dramatic speeches. It means small, intentional choices. Sitting closer instead of drifting to another room. Listening fully instead of half-hearing while you scroll. Touching a shoulder, holding a hand, giving a hug that lasts 2 seconds longer than usual. Saying one real sentence instead of 10 safe, empty ones. Third, make the unspoken speakable. When you don't know how long is left, everyone often feels the tension, but nobody mentions it. People avoid sad topics because they don't want to ruin the mood. In reality, the silence is what poisons the air. The unsaid sits between everyone, heavier than words would be. You do not need to make dramatic announcements. You do not need to create a scene. But you can open a door with simple, honest sentences. This Christmas feels different for me. I've been thinking a lot about how precious this time is. I'm scared of what might come, but I am grateful we are together now. I don't want to leave important things unsaid. These sentences do not create pain, they reveal it. And once revealed, pain can be shared instead of carried alone. Fourth, allow yourself to feel without trying to correct your emotions. When you don't know how long is left, your emotional state can change quickly. You may laugh at a joke and feel guilty for laughing. You may feel peaceful in one moment and burst into tears in the next. You may look at someone with love and suddenly feel a wave of grief. This fluctuation is not instability. It is a normal response to a complex situation. Trying to control your emotions too strictly will only exhaust you. Telling yourself, I must be strong, I cannot cry, I must be happy because it's Christmas, is a form of self-abandonment. Real strength is letting your emotions move through you without judging them. You can cry and still be strong. You can be afraid and still be present. You can have moments of joy that do not betray the seriousness of the situation. Fifth, create one intentional memory. When time feels uncertain, you may feel pressure to make every second memorable. That is unrealistic and overwhelming. Instead, choose one small moment to shape consciously. It could be asking everyone at the table to share one favorite memory from the past year, taking a quiet walk alone with the person you are worried about, writing them a letter and giving it as a gift that expresses what you never say out loud, taking a photo that is not staged but real, messy, imperfect, honest. That one intentional act can become an anchor in your mind. In the future, whether you have one more Christmas or 10 more or none with that person, you will know you did not live this one entirely on autopilot. Sixth, remember that uncertainty applies to you too. Sometimes all the focus goes on how long they have left or how long this relationship will last. But the truth is that you also do not know how long you have. This is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to balance the emotional equation. You are not an observer of life. You are inside it. The same fragility that scares you when you look at them is also true for you. That awareness can wake you up to your own life. Ask yourself, if I knew my own time was limited, how would I behave differently tonight? What kind of presence would I want to offer the people I love? What kind of words would I want to leave behind in their memory? Seventh, stop waiting for the right moment to be real. People waste years waiting for conditions to be perfect before they open their hearts. They think, not at Christmas, I don't want to ruin it. Then after Christmas, not now, everybody is busy. Then, not when they're tired, not when they're stressed, not when they're happy, because they don't want to bring up heavy topics. In the end, the conversation never happens. There is no perfect moment for difficult truth. There is only too early and too late. Uncertainty about how long is left means you cannot afford to endlessly postpone realness. You do not have to unload everything at once, but you can begin, gently, respectfully, courageously. Finally, accept that living with not knowing is itself a form of love. If you are in pain because you don't know how long is left, it is because someone matters deeply to you. Your heart is trying to protect a bond it fears losing. This anxiety is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you care. The key is not to let that anxiety rule your behavior. You cannot force more time into existence. You cannot freeze the present. You cannot sign a contract with life that guarantees more Christmases. But you can choose right now to be fully present in the Christmas you have, to look at the faces around the table and really see them, to let your words be a little more honest, to let your affection be a little less restricted, to let your gratitude be a little louder than your fear. When you don't know how long is left, the most powerful decision you can make is this: I will not disappear from my own life while I am still here. I will not act like a ghost while the people I love are still within arm's reach. I may be afraid, but I will show up anyway. One day, you will be on the other side of this uncertainty, either with relief because time continued, or with grief because it did not. In both cases, when you look back, the question that will matter most is not how long did we have, but how did I love while I still could? If you can answer that with honesty, that you showed up, that you spoke, that you cared in action, not only in thought, then however much time was left, you used it well.